Yes, right.
Um, good evening. We are gathered today to conduct yet another debate, and the topic that we got today is academic marks do matter. And we took around 2 minutes to ideate as it is an impromptu topic, and now we'll be going ahead. So I am supporting, like I got the side as for, and Ayush is against the motion. So in three, two, one, let me start. Uh, we have heard that a single sheet of paper does not decide our future, which is our result. And it is a very good thing to say when the exam is closer or when you worry too much about the results, but not a very good thing to do while preparing for the paper exam. Like I recently I have been talking to many alumni or seniors, and almost all of them have said this to me, that academic marks do matter in the future, and they have a huge impact. Your CGPA, your percentage, they have a huge impact. So I have five strong points to support why academic marks matter. Firstly, about exams like CAT or JEE, the academic marks where you the academic marks that you get sets as an entry in the college, and they give you like if your percentage is below so and so level, then you are barred off from answering the exam. Secondly, I would say that every school, like if we don't even consider the competitive exams, but other than that, every school, every academics, every subject has around 40% passing criteria. And if you don't succeed, if you don't cross it, you have to repeat the whole year, or you are considered as fail. So everyone have to at least get 40%. So thus academic marks do matter. Thirdly, I would say that thirdly, my third major point is about scholarships. When you have good academic score, you get better scholarships, for example, and also felicitations. Like if you are a woman, or like there are some scholarship, like a woman who get highest CGPA gets some scholarship. Like there are n number of scholarships as per the field which you are choosing later on in life. Also, I would say there are more felicitations, or as per the marks. Like in Goa, we have something called as Rajons, which felicitates everyone who is having 100% score or the highest score in the subject, which acts as a very good impetus for you for your later life. And you get some money also, and which could be beneficial for you. Nextly, I would say about credibility. Having good marks, you kind of get like a topper badge or a ranker, and you get a good network. Like if there's any certain scenario, then you will be somebody who will be looked up to. Or if there is anybody, like in the future, I take any coaching classes or anything like that, my scores will make a huge sense that time. And lastly, I would say my last and the fifth point is about placement and jobs. Uh, Academic scores is helps in a segregation of peers of students, because they're just testing if the student can have a ability to withstand in the pressurizing situation. And thus your academic score helps in getting better segregation, and thus it helps even in placement or job perspective as well. So these are my strong 5 points why I strongly believe that academic marks do matter. Over to Ayush.
So one of my favorite movies dialogue, Three Idiots, from the movie Three Idiot. You should run behind excellence, and success will follow. Like this is a very good dialogue and a great quote to live up to. So that brings me to our today's topic, that is marks doesn't matter. And I kind of agree with this statement. There are various reasons, but let's say whenever we tend to focus on marks, we kind of promote rote learning and not really gaining the knowledge. We try to game the system or game the exam to get only, like, you study only to get certain marks or only certain subjects or only certain topics which are important, and end up skipping most of the topics. But let's say if you are in the medical field and you do the same thing, and if a patient comes to you, and like, it could be possibility that you might not be aware because you skip that part. So in such scenarios, if you only focus on marks, then you are missing on the true knowledge, and it will be very deadly at sometimes. uh, my next point would be about skill set matters more than marks, because at the end, marks can help you to shortlist for the interview, but interview or any job offer. But whenever you're uh, like put on the spot to do something, your skill set will matter more, and your marks wouldn't really matter. Because in today's world, in like where technology is changing at unprecedented rate, you really need to stay up to date and not just focus on the marks. And most of the today's fields not even require good marks or such. They focus on your skill sets. And like even companies face a lot of issues because like the students are not really skillful, and they, like even after having a good profile, they are not able to perform well. The next point will be about marks promotes unhealthy competition between students. Like usually in the, like high school classes, uh, in high school, students with good marks are kind of in a separate kind of environment or a separate kind of group where you don't really talk with the other part of the school or other part of the class. There's always some class type of groups formed between like 90 percentilers, 80 percentilers, 80 percentilers, and it leads to unhealthy competition between the students, which I don't really think is a good idea. Like one very good example which I would like to share is a school called Sunshine, which doesn't really have mark system as such. Though, like to judge the students, like pass or fail, they have some kind of grades, but they never share any kind of marks, and they focus more on the practical learning instead of more than theoretical stuff. Uh, the last point would be about whenever you focus too much on the marks, you tend to miss on other opportunities. Like there could be some other competitions which can add more value to your life or uh, like your knowledge in general. It could be given you more experiences. You can focus on other quizzes or like maybe some tracks or like some college trips. You end up missing such opportunities because you tend to focus too much on the marks, or and you don't really take up such opportunities. So, like to conclude, I don't really think marks does matter. So, if you focus on the skill set, then I don't think marks will help you in any way. Yeah, that's my take.
Rebuttal phase.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Any questions, Ayush?
Okay. Yes. You mentioned about a point about credibility. Like students with good marks have like good credibility and helps them to network. So does this mean like someone who doesn't have good marks don't get any opportunities for networking?
Um, I do no. I'm not saying it in that manner. I had said it like it is one of the factor that could be beneficial for a person who is like for credibility. Like if at all you're taking a coaching classes and there's a person who has like AIR one or AIR two who is teaching you, then it is much more like you can see the authenticity. Like the person has gone through a lot, like more knowledge in the field. So that is what I meant. Uh, Okay, if academic marks does not matter, what about the passing criteria in many? Just a second, Ayush. Dada. What about the passing criteria?
Uh, okay, it depends from student, but like usually passing criteria are like around like 40 percentage of the marks, and it shouldn't be that difficult to get if the student is really interested in the subject or whatever he is learning. But in case if he's interested in sports or other activities, then however you try, he won't be like able to like manage getting the marks, and the marks wouldn't really matter even for him or her, like if his or her interests are in a different field. So even if you don't, like, even if he gets good marks, then later on he will not really prefer working in the same field. So that means if any person is not able to get the minimum passing criteria, then probably he is not made for that stuff, and he is interested in other stuff.
No, I'm also talking about the basic like till 10th or till 12th.
Uh, yeah, again, like I would like to say the same thing again. Basically, if someone is not able to like get the passing marks, then That means they are fundamentally lacking something, and it's not about the marks. They are either they are not focusing, or they are not interested in that subject. So that subject, or like they are interested in maybe like sports or other activities. In that case, is the problem is not about the marks, it's more about the students, because they are not focusing. That's why, because getting the minimum passing marks are not that difficult, if you even if you are not that good student.
So academic marks do matter, right?
So not really. Again, uh, even if like he or she is like forced to study something, and that will not really help. Like if he get good marks, but like studying in some way, like by writing stuff, it will not really help him in the longer run. You may pass the exam by that logic, may marks might matter, but in the longer run for him, marks won't really matter.
Any questions?
uh, yes. No, you ask, I'll ask it later.
You mentioned about having skills or having marks, but for some exams like JE or CAT or NEET, answering that exam itself is a skill, right? So, are you saying that marks does not matter for them?
uh, Again, like for example, such as JE, instead more than the marks, the rank matters, because it is more of a merit-based exam and not really a mark-based exam. Uh, like even if the paper is very tough, you won't be able to score good marks in it, and even in the lower marks, you will still get a good percentile or a good rank. So it is more like a shortlisting exam, and if you know the matter well, and if you are able to understand it well, then you will be able to clear it. So marks don't really matter there. It's more of your efforts that matters.
I think what you said is again pointing to the same thing. Like you said, rank matters, but you get good rank only through marks, right?
uh, in the country like India, where its population is very huge, in such scenarios we need some criteria to shortlist, and in that scenario we like to shortlist some students, we need to have certain kind of criteria. So like marks is the easiest way to do it, and like shortlist the students. So in like such scenarios, it is very important. But again, even if you don't clear JE or any such exams, there are always some alternatives. You can look for other exams, or uh, like there are some colleges which takes you directly. So there are always some alternatives, and even if you don't score well or get good marks in such exams, it's not the end of the world. You can do it better in other field.
Uh, I don't have any question you can ask.
Hmm. Okay, so like the question which I wanted to ask, it's not really a question, but more like a counter argument to your statement. As you mentioned, like your seniors telling you that CGPA matters, or like your past academic matters. It does matter at some extent at some colleges, but there are again always some alternatives which you can take. Like there are some colleges which don't focus on pass records too much, so you can always opt for those colleges. It's not really a question, but more like a counter argument.
Okay, even I want to address whatever you're saying. Like, if you have to take some reputable education, then it does matter. Like, if at there's some college, like if I start a college, I take no, like I take any people without any marks, but people might not know that my college even exists, right? So if you want to have a very credited college, then I think it. I don't think I totally believe that it matters.
Uh, but there are also like some colleges which accept like not apart from marks also focuses on your overall profile. Like some colleges look for what you have done in the past. I'm talking in more terms of higher education, like whatever activities which you are in part of, whatever leadership roles you have taken, whatever sports you have played. So all the co-curricular activities or any position of responsibilities which you have taken can also compensate for lower marks at times. So marks shouldn't be the only thing that matters always.
Do you have any questions, or I do not have any unique question? Like,
No, we can proceed.
yeah, feedback part.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, I have like written some points.
Uh-huh.
Like when you started with like a single sheet of paper doesn't decide your future.
Yes.
I thought like I mistaken my topic something like I thought you were speaking against the mark, so I was really confused. Like all the ideation phase I like thought on the wrong side, so it was slightly confusing, not
Yes.
wrong as such, but slightly confusing, I would say.
Yes.
Uh, yeah, you gave a good example of Rajans. I like giving some local or like more personalized examples. I usually like shows that you know your stuff and know your surroundings maybe. And a third point would be you answered that question really well. What was my first question? The credibility. So I asked you about credibility, and like even it was like slightly ambiguous. You clarified it, and like that extent, it was a good answer.
Yes. Yes.
Those 3 points I wrote for you.
Yes. One point I wrote for me was I don't end the sentence properly. Like I say, I end it and I say end all, and something in a very wrong method. Like if I end it, I don't end it. I just say end all, end so many, end like this, which is giving a wrong impression in my English. I'll just
No, I didn't really
I don't have
get
an
you. Like,
example in
can
my.
you give an example?
Uh, Marks really matters like that. Uh, I'm not having an example. I'll just rehear my entire video again. But I just felt that I say end all after finishing the sentence. About you, I like the term that you use. Like you said, game the exam, which I don't know. I really like the word. And about rebuttal phase, I wish you had asked me more questions. Like if I have to marks or skills. Like you should have put me in a more difficult situation. I felt.
Yeah.
Other than that, no. Like we did.
Yeah, usually when I ask questions, it's not really like some about some points which I mentioned and like asking more to speak you on that part. It's more about like something which you have spoken. So like about skill set, I have mentioned in my points. I usually like don't ask it, but if I wanted to ask, it would be a like a good question.
Yes, yes, because I would have not had no answer. Like it would have been difficult
Hmm.
for me.
It was like very similar to your question where you like ask me
Cat,
like the passing criteria. CAT
passing.
also and passing criteria.
Yes, yes.
I tried to dodge it in some way.
Yeah, yes.
Even I wasn't aware what I was speaking. I was like totally bluffing it.
Mm, yes. Shall we think from other perspective, or do you have any feedback to add?
Mm, yeah, we can think from other side.
Yes. Yes, Ayush. Go
Yeah,
go ahead.
yeah. So I have like not fresh point as such, but slightly like adding on to your points.
Mm.
Uh, like marks having good marks opens a lot of opportunity for you, which otherwise, like, I won't say it will be impossible as such, but it will be more difficult, or you will have to take slightly longer part to achieve the same goal probably. uh, like even most of the colleges have like some kind of shortlisting criteria for marks, and you might not be able to get directly through that, but you might have to take a longer route to achieve the same thing. So in that scenario, marks does matter. And like in the country like India, where the population is huge, it's not really easy to shortlist students. So marks is like the easiest way to shortlist the student, though it is not all every time accurate as such, but it's the easiest way to judge. And like the reason why most of the colleges for like higher education prefer uh, candidates with good marks, because it
Yes.
gives them some kind of credibility.
Mm.
Like they have done some hard work in their earlier years, and it is expected from them they will like expected to do the hard work whenever it matters.
Mm.
So like that is the easiest way to judge a student. And also like in case like the again the population is huge, and there are many of times similar kind of candidates, and like like person A and B have same skill set, same amount of work experience, same kind of knowledge, but like how are you going to select one? So in such scenarios, marks helps the
Mm.
recruiter to like shortlist the student. It basically gives you some kind of credibility, as you mentioned. And like on the personal note, like having a good marks gives you some kind of accomplishments. Gives you a feeling that you have accomplished something, and it will good. It's a good uh, confidence booster, I would
Confidence
say.
booster. Yes. Uh, yeah. Done?
Yeah, go ahead.
Uh, about the confidence booster, I was waiting for you to ask me any question, and there I had kept it as a like uh, card, some card that I'll be speaking about confidence booster later. Like I'll be saying that a person who is topping everything will have a great confidence, and like something in that manner. I was waiting to say, but never mind. Like good points. One thing I noticed from
Uh,
your side is while you were telling my part is I should have elaborated each point a little more.
yeah, elaborated on each one. Probably given more examples. Like
Examples.
it,
I had potential today to give examples. Yeah.
mhm.
You were saying something. I blocked you.
Yeah, yeah. Like again, when I asked you to second time when I asked to like ask question, I was hoping that you will ask some questions uh, like all the competitive exam having mark cutoff or like sectional cutoff.
Mm.
Again, I would have said something like about the alternatives. If you like don't clear JE, there are some other exams. Like when I wasn't aware that time, there is some exam called Comdec or something, or GCT. So there are always some alternatives.
Mm.
So you can always opt for them. Again, for similarly for like CAT, there are again other exams like ZET or SNAP. So you can, even if you like miss some exams, you can always have other options.
Yes.
And then I would have like mm, connected it with, if you have the correct skill set and if you are knowledgeable, then even like missing one exam, you
Mm.
can excel in the other exam.
Yes. That would have been a very
But
smart move.
so I was waiting if you had asked some similar questions. So I, but
Yes.
you didn't.
Yes. 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 That would have been a very nice thing, like saying that those things, like not the marks, but your skill of dealing with the exam pressure do matter more. Could have been good.
Hmm.
From your side, I really liked how you said about marks bring competition in like schools. So my first point would be about the young minds. Like you could have asked me, do you think a person going in first or KG1, KG2, does marks matter to them? Even till ninth, like we never saw even those results properly. So do you
Yeah.
something in that matter? Like when we said we were speaking in terms of 10th, 12th, JE, all those marks, but the less important marks you could have asked. Secondly, I would have said from your side that some skills like communication, personality, then health, then work ethics, all this they cannot be quantified by marks. And do you think they are not
Hmm.
important?
This is a very good point.
Yeah, that I would have said. And the last thing I would have really said is there are so many suicide cases like marks and then health. So marks don't matter, but life do matter. And just because of some we have to tackle the population issue and the limited resources. Only due to that there is like such cutoffs. but more what is more important is life and how you know just go ahead with your skill sets. Something in this line I wish you had said. Yeah.
Yeah, the second point was actually really good. Uh, like some maybe like some physical activities or fitness or some ethical. You cannot really have marks in them, or maybe like some kind of creative field. Giving marks in that field is not really doesn't really make sense. So
Yes.
in that scenario, your skill set or your knowledge is more important than just the marks. And again, like a good question I could have asked as your like your first point. Like, do you remember your marks from like one first to ninth,
Mm.
11th,
Yes.
something like that?
Yes, that would have been like a very good question.
Yeah, like if you say that marks matter, then what was your marks during 11th standard? Something like that.
Yes. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we can go ahead with the,
Sadly,
huh?
yeah. No, no, go ahead, go ahead.
We can go ahead with the group discussion. Let's have a group discussion.
Yes.
You were saying something, I cut you off.
Uh, yeah, yeah. That only I wanted to say. Like I was going to say it during the group discussion.
Okay.
So, like even I believe that marks does matter because it opens a lot of opportunities, but it is not the only factor which very important. Like you should focus on your overall profile and but still have a decent marks because it will again like, give you good opportunities, give you confidence boost, or give you some credibility.
Uh, okay, for if I have to answer this, only at certain stages marks matter, like some levels,
Mhm.
maybe 10th, 12th, or even our CGPA, it did matter. Then exams, only this. Otherwise, you just give focus on the other stuffs, and yeah, that's it. Other than that,
Yeah,
I
but again, like for even if you say for just some stages it matters, but it still matters, right? So
yeah, yeah.
it's not like you get good marks during that stage, but later stage you might not get good marks. It's basically same thing, right? So marks basically matters.
Yes, 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 yes.
I don't know if that this point makes really sense or not, but marks does matter at the end,
It
even
does
if
matter.
it is only at that particular stage. But that is true. Like in the 10 years, we won't really care for the marks, but
Yeah,
now it really matters.
now it matters. Yeah. One another question you could have asked me: if marks really matter, can we go and ask old people what like how did something in that matter? How is it important now for them? But the other
Yeah.
skills like health would have mattered more. Yeah, that's it. We'll do ChatGPT part.
And just one more point, like sometimes even marks matters in cases like if you like giving example of cat, like even if you score 99 percentile in cat, overall 99 percentile, but usually there are sectional cutoffs. Usually 70, 70, 70 is the cutoff in all the three sections. And like if you score like 60 percentile in one and 99, 99 others, still your percentile will be around 95, 98 percentile. In but that case, your marks does matter, right? So
Uh,
even after even if you are being knowledgeable but like mess up during that exam or only that section, but still you will not get the admission. So marks does matter.
one
That's
feedback I have,
basically
Ayush, like I just realized that, Mummy ID, I just realized that whenever we give a very savage question, it makes some like different vibe. Like if you asking me, do you remember marks from first, second? Like it is a savage question. It
yeah,
actually hurts my like, what do you say? It makes me little insecure first, and then makes my side little weaker. Okay,
yeah.
let's do ChatGPT part. Can we start? Mm,
Yeah. Like from your side, I don't really have any points as such, but they have like divided every point in very good way. Like
mm,
for example, we mentioned about opportunities. Good marks gives you good opportunities, and they are divided into like first is higher education. It gives you more opportunities like some field. Second is about scholarship and funding. You get a lot of opportunities, and like on the similar note, for like your entry level jobs or internships, you don't really have any past
yes,
experience
good
as
answer.
such.
Yeah.
So in that scenario, marks matters.
Mm.
Today's debate was more towards like it would have been better if we both given more examples to every point. Like it
Examples.
was very easy to give examples,
Yes, yes,
so we should have done it better. Like
yes,
common feedback for both.
yes. Common feedback. I have a point is about. Wait. Okay, I don't really have a point, but I remembered this quote that I could have used, and I just remembered while doing ChatGPT. It was Albert Einstein quote, and I think even you will be knowing this. Everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. So I think that
Yeah,
really mattered. Like it would have made some sense. That's
yeah, it was good from my side
yeah,
probably.
yeah.
That
From your side, I'd say.
okay.
I
I
don't.
was actually thinking for some quote at the start, but only thing that came to the mind was that Three Idiots dialogue. There was
Ah, yeah,
actually
you said
another point. Like,
leaders. That's nice.
mm, there was actually another point from my side. Like,
Mm,
if you focus only on the marks, then instead of knowledge, you might try to get some shortcuts to clear the exam, and you may indulge in like not malpractices like cheating or copying in the exams.
mm.
So that won't really help.
Yeah, that was a good point.
And like soft skills cannot be really
Major.
judged with the marks, like teamwork, leadership, emotional intelligence, resilience, other kind of stuff. So you cannot really give marks to that stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, Ayush. See you tomorrow then.
Yes.
Thank you for coming. Let us stop the meet.
Yes.